19 is faith, because faith requires God to make a declaration before you can even respond. Do you realize faith makes you go somewhere before you even... In fact, you can go somewhere in faith before your body ever get there. You do it all the time. How many pictured yourself coming to service today before you even, and by the time you got here, you hold... So you got to understand something about faith. It will take you if you go. It won't make you.
No.
But if you go,
Yes.
it will take you. A little bit of breakdown. There are 19 people of faith in the great, Hebrews 11th chapter. We call it the Hall of Faith chapter. Even in Paul's writings about the justification of faith, it's used like 19 times the word faith. And even Noah and his family who built the ark by faith, his name is mentioned 19 times. And the preaching of the faith message by Paul, his name is mentioned 19 times. So I said, wow, so faith really is connected to the number 19. Do you know the average person prays for something about 19 times before it actually manifests?
Wow.
Are you hearing me? I'm just trying to tell you what faith does. So it already took you somewhere, but you didn't go.
Yes.
Look at you. You see what I'm saying? On average now, I'm not saying sit around now and start counting how many times I say that. How many are getting something? So then faith literally will rise up throughout this year in a way that you've not experienced it before. Because knowledge is what allows you to experience things. You realize that. And in fact, your faith is really no stronger than the last test you went through.
Wow. There you go. Amen.
That's right.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because that's what it's there for.
Yes.
And not only does it help you to build up yourself, but it will make you stronger. It'll stabilize you. When everybody else is running around panicking, you'll be saying, I got faith in God.
Yes. Yes.
Because that's what faith will do. So just see this year as your year for faith. Now, let's go back to Canaan. Because we're at the wedding. And we understand then that the Lord is announcing this realm of water and blood. And it makes a lot of sense to me because wine really is and was and will always be a representation of blood. That's why we take Holy Communion. Okay? Well, we know that the life of a thing
It's in the blood.
is in the blood. And so what is Jesus saying here, even in this incident that takes place? Matthew 22:2, he talks about the kingdom of heaven is likened unto a certain king which made a marriage for his son. He keeps showing us marriages and weddings. The Old Testament also describes this messianic era with this image of abundance of wine. Throughout the Old Testament, it talks about vineyards. Jeremiah really goes into it, talks about your vineyards will be overflowing, and so on and so forth. So this represents life. Okay? The life of a thing is where?
In the blood.
In the blood. So Jesus says, now I'm going to come and fulfill that so that you can actually see it. And there's like two major statements that stand out to me in this passage of scripture. It says literally, Master, they have no more wine.
And no more blood.
Or no more life. Okay? Because that wedding represents life. And he says they have no more. So Jesus, and also the incident, I had to study that too, when he says, woman, what is that to do with me? Well, come to find out that was a very polite and proper statement for a man-child to address his mother.
Oh, really? Wow.
In Hebrew, they still, certainly at that time, still saw her